and welcome to Athlete Congress. I'm very fortunate to be joined by 4 great athlete leaders who will help us demonstrate how to run a meeting. In this video demonstration, you'll get to see how a meeting is run. First, there's the facilitator who will be guiding the conversation, then the recorder who will be writing down the feedback from each member, and then the 3 members that will be sharing their input and voting. The only members of a group that will not have voting abilities are the facilitator and the recorder. Thank you for being a part of Athlete Congress, and I hope this video will help demonstrate what you need to do for tomorrow in preparation for the priority vote.
Everybody, welcome to our first ever athlete leadership team meeting. I'm here to do a roll call. So, John.
Here.
Teddy.
Here.
Winnie.
Here.
Jordan.
Here.
And also I am here. Anyway, today we are here to discuss the term and lengths and limits for our athlete leadership team. As of right now, we should have at least 4 members, and including me, and are looking forward to add new members. As an athleteship leader team, we should have more members with different age, gender, and also sports. As we gain more members, we need is to look into deciding how the term and lengths and limits should be decided. The ultimate goal is to give every interested athlete in our county an equal opportunity in getting into serve in a meaningful role on the athlete leadership team. For this discussion, I will ask a series of questions. We will spend no more than 3 minutes providing feedback. My mentor will help me keep track of the time. The first question is, what should the maximum number of athletes should be, and why?
Depends on the mentors, how many mentors we can get, and that's the athletes and the mentors. Depends how many we can get on the board.
Teddy?
12 athletes, because 12 the sports that we have.
So Jack, give me a second so I can write this down.
All right. Take your time, Jordan. Let me know when you're finished.
And Teddy, you said 12, and what was your reason again?
12 sports in the county.
Great. Thanks, Jack.
Oh, you're welcome, Jordan. And also, John, do you have any input?
I think it should be 1 athlete per sport, because so you can get the feedback on how you can better their sports to better themselves and everything else.
All right, everybody. That was definitely good feedback. I really liked the enthusiasm. And also, the next question is, how many years should a term on the athlete leadership team should last, and also why?
I think it should last 3 to 4 years, depends on the athlete, the president, the vice president, and the secretary. It depends on their age and their mentor, if their mentor can get to the meeting, or depends if they can do the job, and if they have to step down for a reason that we understand.
I think that it should be 3-4 years term, because so they can give other athletes a chance.
All right, John?
I think it should be based on how big the group is of the terms for the president and all the chairs, and for them to vote on it when they want to be let go on the terms.
John, I missed that part. I was just finishing what Teddy said. Could you repeat that again?
I think it should be the terms of how many's in the group of the athlete leadership, and the term for the president and secretary and the president on when they feel comfortable to leave because of the group is being so small, to give the other athletes a term also.
Great, thank you.
All right. All right, that was another good feedback. So, another question is, another thing to discuss is, can members apply for a second term after rolling off, and also why?
I think they should. I think they should take a year off and give the new president, vice president, or secretary a chance, and then they can, in 3 years, if they want to reapply for it, or 4 years, they can take another vote on it and see if they get reelected to go on back on to that role.
2 years, because so the other athletes give other athletes a chance, and then they can reapply to for the position.
John?
I think they can reapply based on how their athlete leadership to the other athletes are. It don't matter the year, it matters by a year, to give them a year or two, like Teddy said about for the other athletes. But also I think it should be good based on their leadership on for their group of people also.
Did you get that down, Jordan?
John, can you repeat that last part? So they should, so they can apply based on the total. So e-application should be based on number or members. Is that what you were saying?
Based on a year's time on how they showed leadership to the sports and everything else, if they care for other athletes and stuff like that.
So they should.
They can reply within a year time.
So they can reapply after a year after.
Yeah.
Okay. Just give me a second. Great, thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for that. And before we report out to the management team, I would like to call for a vote. Before that, let's recap what we just discussed. Jordan, you have the floor.
Thank you, Jack. So the first question was, what is the maximum number of members that we should have on our athlete leadership team, and why? So Winnie's response was, it depends on the number of athletes we get, and the more athletes that we have, the more mentors we will need. Teddy then responded, 12, because we have 12 sports in our county. And John made a similar response, saying that at least one athlete per sport should be represented, so that way we have input from each sport our county offers. For question number 2, how many years should a term on the athlete leadership team last? Winnie said it should last 3 to 4 years, depending on the number of athletes and positions of office we have. And Eddie also agreed and said we should give other athletes a chance. And John said something similar, that the term should be decided on how many are in the group. And then question 3, can members apply for a second term after rolling off, and why? And Winnie said that they should take a year off and then can reapply if they're interested. Teddy said 2 years after rolling off. And then John said that they can reapply after a year.
All right. Should we move forward with the recommendations discussed here today? You may answer yes, no, or indifferent. All in favor of yes, raise your hand. Good. Thank you. Now, do I have any members that would like to report out of the management team later tonight? Oh, good. Thank you, Jordan.
You're welcome.
And thank you for, showing up here. You guys are all dismissed.
Thank you.
Thank you for your attention. While this topic will not be the conversation for tomorrow's priority vote, I hope this helped prepare you on what we will be doing. And as you could tell from the demonstration, Jack did a tremendous job of not only leading the conversation, but acknowledging everybody's comments. The recorder took notes of everything everyone said and asked members to repeat themselves if needed. And each member also was very respectful in not only sharing their opinions, but also allowing others to share their own opinions without talking over each other. By doing this demonstration on how to run a meeting, you should be better prepared for tomorrow's priority vote and helping improve the overall quality of Special Olympics programming here in Pennsylvania for you, me, and all the other 20,000 athletes across the state.